IMed's first blog. I'm Ellie, the marketing manager, and we're speaking to the lovely Nicole today. Now, Nicole, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So what we're going to be talking about today, IMed's ambassador, we've got Freddie. Freddie's Future is a charity that we're going to be supporting through the rest of our lives. We're going to keep going and keep fundraising as much as we can each year. But we want to tell people a little bit about the charity. So I've just got a variety of questions I want to go through with you to help us, get the message out there and get some info to everybody that doesn't maybe understand the disease or people that are going through the similar situation. Is that okay with you?
That's brilliant, thank you.
Okay, yes. Lovely. So tell us to start with a little bit about Freddie.
So Freddie is now 8 years old. He is your typical cheeky, giggly, happy little boy. I have 4 boys, and he's the kind of more relaxed, chilled, I stick him in the middle car seat kind of thing. So, yeah. He's just calm and nice. That's Freddie.
Oh, lovely. And how many children does this particular disease that Freddie unfortunately got? How many does it affect, really? It's
less than 2 cases per 1 million people in Europe.
So it's super rare.
Yeah, it's very rare. And there's slightly more in America for some reason, slightly more.
I wonder why. Are they researching into that, or
Yeah, I think so. I think they're always researching everything, because if there's ever a link between anything, then that would be gold. But I don't know.
I'm assuming Freddie's on the good side of things at the moment. He's good now. There's nothing too much going on.
No, we have actually just had results for a hormone test, which unfortunately wasn't great. He's going to be on medication for the rest of his life. I don't know the details properly yet, because I'm actually waiting for a phone call from the doctor today.
Okay.
But generally, I mean, you wouldn't really know, to be honest. He's a little bit lethargic, and apparently if he gets ill, it could really, really affect him. So he's got to have sort of emergency injections to hand and all sorts of stuff now. But generally, in comparison to how he was, he's fine.
Yeah, well, of course. So I mean, like, how with this, awful thing, how does that impact Freddie's from day-to-day life? I mean, you said he's quite lethargic, a lot of the time.
He's because he's our first child, I kind of have no comparison, but if I have another child over of the same age or anything, I can see that actually he tires out quite quickly.
And if you compare him to the other 3 boys that you've got, which is a madhouse on any good day, I'm sure. You notice that actually he is just absolutely cream crackered after compared to the others. Yeah,
he'll get back from school absolutely shattered, whereas like the 6-year-old, who should probably be more tired because he's younger, is fine, I think. So, but this hormone deficiency that he's got, apparently once we get the drug started, that we should see a big difference. So that's a good thing to come.
Well, I guess that's a blessing in disguise, rather than it being a negative. Hopefully this should make a much more positive impact on his life, I guess.
Exactly. He's basically missing really important hormones which will affect his day-to-day life. The worrying one is the growth hormone. So he hasn't grown much in the last year, which, unlike the other 2 hormones, you put the other 2 hormones in and all it does is good. The growth hormone, I'm yet to speak to the doctor, but I am scared of anything to do with growth going into him, because you don't know what it's going to grow.
No, it's completely understandable. Yeah. So in reality, what's the single most important thing that could help Freddie and children like him, or children that are suffering something similar to what he has?
Well, because there's such a lack of research into it, because it is quite rare, it gets very, very small amount from the NHS, from Cancer Research UK, all the big cancer companies. They just they go for the more common cancers. So research is the key, which is why I run this, because we just need to know more. Obviously, the more we research, the more they find out, we can get to that aim, which would be a cure. Immunotherapy, where it uses his body to fight against the disease itself, rather than trying to kill what's in there. It would be really good. Immunotherapy.
But I mean, obviously you've had inundated help with fundraising and support from loads and thousands of people.
Amazing,
I've seen it on your charity group, which I will share at the end of the video. I mean, has Freddie got involved in a lot of the event raising, raising money for children like him and for research, I assume?
He has. I've always had a bit of a golden rule with it, though. He can only take part if he's going to enjoy it, because after everything we've been through, I didn't want this charity to sort of be a negative to him or to sort of impact our lives too much.
Super positive is what you want. Yeah.
I need to get the balance right. So it needs to be like, if it's anything charity related that Freddie gets involved with, it has to be the super fun stuff. Whereas I do all the, the admin-y and the pushing it and all of that sort of stuff. But if I ever think Freddie isn't going to enjoy this, then he doesn't get involved. But he has got involved with, we had a couple of dog shows. He absolutely loved being the judge. He loved that. That was brilliant. He watched the skydiving, which obviously that's pretty cool when you're 8 years old, watching someone jump out of an airplane for you. He makes some crafty stuff sometimes to sell in our shop, crafts, pet foods. So he sometimes does that, or any events or anything where sometimes have some of his little bookmarks on sale or anything like that. So yes,
that's lovely.
And he will do in the future more and more probably, but like I said,
I mean, obviously with the medication, if that helps as well, give him a bit more energy, maybe he'll be able to do a few more things that he probably wasn't completely capable of jumping in at first before, and that's obviously better for you and peace of mind for you if that's okay. I mean, how important is fundraising for this to you as yourself, as a mother?
I remember sitting there in hospital, and honestly, the amount of amazing charities that sort of buy them a gift or leave like a stocking at Christmas for them. And I just remember sitting there thinking, I've got to do something after this. I need to do something. I was, I didn't know which direction to go with it really, because you've got all these lovely, like I say, these lovely charities who sort of give you a gift, and I sort of thought I need to, I wanted to repay them. But really at the end of the day, there's so many amazing charities. It was difficult to choose, but I just had to go for the one that's going to change lives, which is what we're doing now, trying to find a cure and trying to put money into research. So it's so important to me, because obviously I just feel like if I do something, it's better than nothing, and you never know. Every £1,000 could go, closer to getting that cure. So
yeah, exactly. You could have just needed that extra pound to do the right thing. You never know.
It literally means everything to me. Every bit of money we make is just everything.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. And following on from that, what advice would you give to families with children who are, seriously ill, not just going through what you're going through, but actually that are seriously ill and going through the same thing? Is there something that if you were to leave a lasting note for mothers and parents, or, guardians, grandmas and grandpas that are looking after children this way, what advice would you give them to keep going? Or
well, first of all, I'd always say never feel silly asking questions. Never feel silly going to your GP. If you get an answer that you're not sure about, push always, because misdiagnosis is a massive thing with most childhood cancers.
Right.
And then once you're in this horrible place, then I would say just keep trying to, think positive, take one day as it is. Try not to sort of think forward. It's hard to do, but
I think that's some great advice. And
you have to live like that.
Yeah, and if you asked Freddie the same question, because I know I sent you these questions to start with, because obviously I know Freddie is at school, so he's not quite on his Easter holidays yet. If Freddie was asked the same question, does he have an answer of what he would say to other children in his position or a similar position?
Yeah, he said sleep. He said sleep at night, because he said it's really tiring even if you do sleep at night. So make sure you go to bed early, wake up late, sleep as much as you can at night.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I agree with that advice. I would say,
I agree with that, yeah.
Whoever's not poorly, I would tell them to sleep well at night.
And eat. Actually, that's a piece of advice I'd give to another mother. Eat. Get them to eat, because they just lose weight. The more it goes on, they lose more and more and more weight, and you can never catch up again. So pile that food in right at the beginning. It would always be good advice. But also Freddie said, get lots of fun things to do, because you're in hospital a lot. So again, one of these lovely charities donated him a Switch, which was a godsend.
Oh my goodness, they're amazing, Brett. They're a good amount of money as well. That's a really lovely gift as well.
That's what I mean. Some of these charities are amazing. They're just so good. So yes, a Switch or lots of fun things to do and lots of sleep is Freddie's advice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so at the moment we've got a lovely fundraiser going on. So our project manager, Luke, who is donating his hair, so he'll be not only raising money for Freddie's future, but he'll be donating his hair to the Little Princess Trust, which is great. And obviously, what are we at today, Nicole? Is it 460 or something? Does that sound about right? So we had a £300 goal, and we're already at 460. We're hoping to kick off to 1,000 on May the 5th, and fingers crossed that you know, that, as you said, just the extra pound could have just, you know, researched and finished something that can complete something that really needed to be done or really needed to be noted. So but anyway, thank you so much for chatting to us today, Nicole, and being our first IMed video for our channel.
Thank you so much for choosing Freddie's future.
No problem at all. Thank you.